How's it going, everybody? How you doing? What's the actual fucking crack? Jesus, fair play to you. Dog came flying sideways in the door there. How are you, dog? Yeah, she may as well join me. I could pause the podcast right now, but sure no. I mean, she's an attention seeker. What can I say? You're all very welcome to episode 58 for Friday the 11th of May 2018. I don't know why I say the year. Like, there's going to be some archive listening to this that they're going, I wonder what year he's talking about. But you know what? I physically have to write down the date so I can say it correctly because it just wouldn't stay in my head. So yeah, felt the need to say 2018. You're all very welcome. That's it, dog. You fucking tell him. I did door wide open. It's actually quite sunny. Big ass fucking fly. I know I'm commentating on what's around me for the first 15 feet or whatever, but I just felt you might want to know. What's the actual crack? As opposed to the other type of crack. This is episode 58. This is a fun one. How was your week? How was your week? Glad to be getting paid. Gonna hit the fucking tiles tonight. Gonna sit down a couple of brews. It was a grand week still. The search continues for a house here in South Dublin. Sweet divine Jesus Christ. Some of the oh my god, not shitholes or anything like, but like physical square footage. Like I've owned cars bigger than these fucking, and you're going, wow, it's gone fucking bananas. It's gone bananas. So that search continues. I won't bore the fucking shit out of you with that one. But anybody new? Have we new people? You're all very welcome. Join the gang. Pull up a stool. You'll be fine. Pull yourself a drink. If you are new to it, hit subscribe in whatever format you're listening to. I won't tell you which to do. I mean, it goes in on SoundCloud, comes out in all the other places. So it's pretty easy to find. Of course, we're on iTunes, Castbox, Spreaker, whatever you're listening on, you've already found it. So there's no more to be said really on that. If you're new to the whole Tom O'Mahony experience, you're all very, very welcome. Follow me on all sorts of Tom O'Mahony comedy. We'll find them all really, from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook, and of course the chatty snaps is Tom Bear O'Mahony. Yeah, so that's the crack. And of course gigs. What have I got coming up? But no gigs the weekend gone. Gigs coming up next week, as you will hear this, starting Tuesday night. I know I'm in Camden Comedy Club, I think, in On Show. I'm not in On Show, even though I was down on the old website there that I will be, because I had to have a thing down in Cork, I think. Have I? Yeah, I think it's in Cork. On Wednesday. So anyway, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be in the Laughter Lounge with, I think, John Cleary and Willa White, I think. I'm not sure. There'll be somebody else on with us. Not sure who it is, but do you know what? I'll be saying that next week too, but it'll be talking about the Friday and Saturday night show. Anyway, you're all very welcome. Like I said, go to tomomahony.com if you want to check out what gigs are coming up down the line. I've a lash more to stick up on the thing, but it's been mental just trying to actually find a fucking house. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Again, I won't bore the piss off you. Fair play, Patreon. If you haven't heard of Patreon, basically it's a format for artists that you some way subscribe to, whether you go to see them or you like their art or you like listen to their music or you listen to their podcasts. Patreon is a way of slinging a couple of quid towards that person or that artist that you're digging. Because obviously I don't charge anybody for this or whatever, but I mean it's the whole thing is I want to start. See, the old GoPro, even I'd say the whole idea of it is that you're actually going to put enough money together. For me, it's not to pay me, it's just to buy some better equipment. I mean, the sound gear is all right, but that's all it is all right. It could be better. The camera, I need to get a good camera as well, so I can actually film these well, because the old GoPro isn't fucking cutting it. In poor light, like in the intro now with Luke Keeler last week, I looked at some of the clips that I have, and it's not the greatest. Like, I'm going to stick it up on YouTube just to see how it looks in the small format of YouTube. But yeah, it's nice. GoPros are grand, but it's not cutting it. It's just not fucking cutting the mustard. So that site is patreon.com/Tom O'Mahony Buckshot. I'll put the link in the old description there. And I'd said it last week, we had let me just see now. Work the computer, Tom, good lad. Conor Doran fair play to you. I almost said your name correctly last week, but I said I wouldn't say it until I had it right. He made a pledge. It slung me in $1 there. Fair play to you. Mighty. And yes, like I said, you don't have to, but it makes life easier for people if you do. Give a rating on iTunes, because it makes it easier to find. And we've had a couple of more ratings, and it hasn't gone from... It's still 4.5 stars. Some fucker in there has gone, no, do you know what? 3. Like I said, if you don't think it's worth 5 stars, don't bother. Because honestly, I can do nothing with the stars. There's nothing I'm going to change. It's not like it's a... Here's a little critique, Tom. I don't know what the point of it is that people would... Why would you give less than, say, a high rating on a thing? Why bother giving anything other than a high rating? Do you know what I mean? Like, well, what do you think is going to come out the other end? I see what you said there with your 2.5 stars. Yes. Yeah, I would definitely... No, I'm not. Not when everybody else is giving 5 stars. When the vast majority are giving 5 stars. I'm going to keep doing it the way I do it. So, but yeah, thank you very much who actually stuck in a rating. A few more did this week. Good on you. Fair play to you, gang. And of course, there's a couple more. Yeah, oh yeah, very good. There's actually somebody has written a review. I like this. 5 stars, good stuff. Very funny by Muckle. 2017 Command Muckle. Tom's some man for one man. He'll have you doubled over with the laughter. Do you know what? That couldn't be. There isn't a more Irish phrase. You see, of course, with Muckle, you can't. That could easily be an Arabian lad, but there's no fucking way that's an Arabian person. Tom's some man for one man. That's it. That's how they should rate it. Not with stars. They should rate it with great phrases. Tom's some man for one man. There's been other ones from Sebest. Tom is brilliant. Just a laugh. Lovely stuff. And Cooper Beagle. Cooper Beagle. I like them. Funny, entertaining, everything you need to brighten up your morning. Good on you. Fucking nice one. Fair play, lads. This is the chat. Lads and lassies. Good on you. Because this week, I every so often I look up the actual stats of where people are listening. And whatever about the cities, it's interesting enough. And Ireland has never been at the top on both the cities and the countries. But this week, Ireland is actually at the top, which I'm amazed about. What the fuck is the dog dragging around now? Christ above. She's fucking just... this week Ireland and Dublin are at the top of the whatchamacallit, top of the listenership, not least I suppose because Luke Keeler was on. The UK is now. Australia, fair play. You finally pulled it out, Australia, and you're made it its 3rd spot. I'm very proud of you. I've had Australian people contact me not knowing why Australia never featured in the top 10 countries before, because they listen to it religiously. Canada is up there. United States are always thereabouts. Belgium, but I think the fucking big one. Belgium, Spain, Netherlands, and here we go, lads. Here are 2. I bet you wouldn't fucking... You bet you wouldn't. At number 7 in the top countries list, Iceland. Iceland, not the shop, the country. Can you believe that? And I tell you what's even madder is in number 10 is Bermuda. Fucking-muda. India's at number 11. Switzerland, United Arab Emirates is at 13, and New Zealand. Like, these are places we know a bit about, but Bermuda is actually beating India, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates. That's a few countries, and New Zealand. By Jesus Christ, who's in Bermuda, lads? Hit me up. I need to know who's there. I need to know who's in. I want to know from all of you, really. Like, obviously, you know what I mean. It's the exoticness of it, isn't it? It's Bermuda, like. Jesus, am I going to have to look up where Bermuda is? Bermuda, obviously the triangle. Where Bermuda? Good Lord, I should know this, really. Like, I should know this. Good Lord, it's actually a British seas. Oh, right. Oh, Bermuda is a British island territory in the North Atlantic Ocean. Pink sand beaches. Oh, now has an elbow beach and an elbow beach? Oh, I see it. The island actually looks kind of like a bent elbow. And Horseshoe Bay. By geez, Britain owns Bermuda. Fucking hell. I did not know that. Huh. So it's in the North Atlantic Sea. Is it cold there? people from Bermuda, you need to hit this so I can tell other people about Bermuda, because it's not just for me. I think other people, and to be from Bermuda, this is Wikipedia for you, to be from Bermuda is to be a Bermudian. Good Lord. Wow, this is high quality entertainment for you folks. Or actually, I'm just finding out stuff myself. But you know what? What's great is that you're on the journey with me. So let's get a fucking gander. Like I said, Dublin as cities-wise. So, as Australia, it's been Perth. Perth is the main Australian city. Yeah, and Reykjavik Island is the main, would you have guessed, one from Iceland. But then it doesn't have where Bermuda. Hamilton. Oh, Hamilton, Bermuda. Oh, Jesus, now. That does sound kind of Scottish, doesn't it? Hamilton. I know, listen, there's a place somewhere in the United Kingdom called Swadlincote. People are listening from there. The usual suspects like Dungannon are showing up, and Derry, and all minority buddies. Mountain View, California has popped into this. Anyway, 8 Mile Plains, Australia. These are all very interesting fucking places. Do you know what I mean? When you, like, who the Christ is listening to some redneck from Tipperary? Fair play to you. Hit me up. I need to know more about these things. Thank you very much anyway, too, for the reviews and the listens. Tell everybody about it. And if you do, like I said, if you are listening on iTunes, or you have a way to listen on iTunes, and you do pop over, give it a 5 stars if you want to give it 5 stars. If you don't want to give it 5 stars, give it nothing. Don't give it anything. Because it just taints the pot for the rest of them. Why was I not gigging? I was at Colin Geddes and Maureen now Geddes, their wedding. We went up Friday night to, where the fuck are they? Dungannon. Well, near Dungannon. We stayed in this village, the village of Moy, because it was actually an outdoorsy. It was actually, it was in 2 beautiful marquees. The wedding was on Maureen's parents' property, which is in the countryside. But it was the wedding. I'm not getting into it too much because they'll let the lads put up their videos and their their photographs themselves. It was a smashing wedding. It was just very, very relaxed, as cool as a breeze, as you'd assume. If anybody, a lot of people who listen to my podcast listen to Colin Geddes's, and it was as cool as a breeze as you'd imagine. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Mickey, Aaron, and Conor Begley gave. Who the fuck else was at the top? Jesus Christ, I'm getting devoured by flies here. Who else is at the top table? God, I drank a lot of Guinness, needless to say. Conor Begley was kind of hosting the affair, like at the after party, or the afters of it. Oh my God, I've drawn a complete fucking blank. I can't remember. Shane Todd and Woodsy and myself, we were, Dave Elliott. Other comedians were there in the crowd. Anyway, Mickey's one was very heartfelt. It was good crack, and all of them were very funny speeches, but it was Maureen's mother. Oh my God, that woman can roast so well. She fucking roasted the shit out of everybody, and really well. It was like, fucking hell, she was worth the entrance fee alone. But it was the village of Moy, has to be seen to be believed. It's a gorgeous little sleepy village, you would think, right? We get up there on the Friday night, late enough, about 10 o'clock, and it's a market square kind of town, and there's a little, up the one end of the market square, we're staying in a guest house there, who it would seem owned the entire street, because there's a sign on the door, prior to 6 o'clock check-in, call into the antique shop. After 6 o'clock check-in, call into the pub. So we rock into the maddest looking pub you've ever seen. It's like 7 different fucking... It's like inside Willy Wonka's head, essentially. It's it's just, what would you call it? Just a rooms of oddities, and just a big... So we check in, your man was like, away you now and get you changed there now, and come away down and have a couple of pints. The bar, or the band is about to start up, and I says, any place we get a bite to eat, Place is fucking heaving too. It's not, this small town is doing fucking well, because of a few bars in it, and just one of them that we were in was fucking chock-a-block. Big band, the whole lot, who happened to be at Colin's wedding playing as well. But it was the, I said, your man, any place to get a bite to eat at this hour? He goes, what are you looking for? Next thing he points, there's our chippy down there. I can get him to send it up if you want. I'm not going to continue to do this man's accent because it was a proper culture northern accent, like. And there was a chippy, there was a Chinese, and he says there's Vietnamese Vietnamese in the fucking back end Arsenal in Dungannon. And he says, so he says, you know what, we'll go for a walk ourselves. So we picked up some grub and we brought it back to the pub, and this band fires up, and it's just like if you walk through the bar, and like that, the bar is split into 4 mini little bars, lounges of their own thing, but the actual serving bar is in just one place. Next thing you go down the stairs, out the back, there's a big like smoking yard or whatever, or just outdoors yard, which is just a crazy, like there's on one ledge, there's like a stuffed penguin looking at you. They've got a boat hanging out of the rafters. It's just a mad fucking place where obviously antiques auctions go on. So we sit out in this one bit at this table that's worth like 10 grand. Do you know what I mean? There's a painting hanging beside us, and lads are smoking around us. Like, there's a painting which has a price tag of like 3,500 on it, and the band are firing up. There's a mixture of fucking everybody there, all wild bastards, like the proper just jumped out of the tractor cultures, to like regular folk, to from 18-year-olds right up to like 90-year-olds are in the bar. Fucking, there's one couple, they're in their like 30s, mid-30s. You know, you can't put a fucking age on people. Well, these were these two. And she was just straddling him, pretty much dry fucking him, like, just wearing the face off him. And like, people are just migrating around this scenario. And we're just sitting there just going, who needs fucking Instagram or the telly? Just come and watch the locals. It's amazing. And at one point, like, this woman who was the embodiment of Mickey Bartlett, only she was much taller. She was like 6'2". She just comes bursting past everybody. Like, there was no dance floor, but she was going to where the dance area, and she's just guiding her friend by pushing her with a fag hanging out of her mouth. She's like, to the dance floor, motherfucker! And you're like, oh my God. This is still only about 20 past 10, like the fucking place was absolutely off the chain. It was mental. But it's set up for a good wedding. A good fucking wedding, I can tell you. Taxi. I'll talk more about it the next day. I do whatchamacallit with Colin, a swapcast with Colin when I'm up there. I think they're away on honeymoon now, so I'll talk more on the fact there's much more. Moving along. Jesus Christ, I've nattered on for long enough because the podcast itself is long enough. Emma Doran is today's guest. I met Emma probably like that 4 or 5 years ago. She's a fantastic comedian. She's really, like, I like her humour. Like, she's got this sort of comedy that it's you know what I mean? You could interchange it. It doesn't, being a woman or whatever, doesn't define her. She has just good fucking comedy. Like, her stuff is kind of dark and a bit dry. Like, you know, I like it. She's good cracking. She's a mover and shaker, and a lot of people will have known Emma from her. Like, she makes a lot of very like viral levels videos. I've never made a viral video. Just lots of videos with me cursing at barbecue food, really. Like, but she's done a good few on, you know, like what typically the world views people as, and she's done a couple of very good ones with the other comedian that she's buddies with, Julie J, where it's comparative, you know, between when you were young and when you're in your 30s. But like that, I'll be putting links to all of Emma's stuff in the description. For now, please enjoy the very fantastic Emma Doran. Toffee Pops. It's weird staying quiet for a minute, isn't it?
Oh God, I got flashbacks of mass there and stuff. I just wanted to
dig in, by the way. Dig in. And I think they're like a jump. They are. They're 100% extra free.
Yeah, no, they're nice.
I discussed biscuit. I should actually rename the podcast Biscuits.
Yeah.
Because they open in 10 minutes since we talking about the bickies that turn on, and I think it's just so rude, especially when I show up to somebody's house, to not bring bickies. Like,
oh, you did well. I mean, you can't go wrong with toffee pops.
You fucking can, Emma. I've done this before.
It's not your first time at the rodeo. You know what you're at.
But I had a funny feeling Emma was going to be cool with toffee pops. I just had a feeling that.
You knew.
I just knew, but at the same time I wasn't going to turn up here with no digestives either. Like, there has to be some bit of savvy to these things.
Own brand digestives.
Oh!
I'm like, what the fuck?
Is there anything sadder than own brand? There is own brand rich tea.
I mean, I'd have the rich tea. I don't even talk about them. I
won't even get into it, Tom.
No, but Own brand is fine, but not someone's house.
No, yeah, you have to show.
No one's under the illusions that I'm flashing the cash. But
no, right, but at the same time you go, like, there'd be a different podcast if I turned up here with fucking rich tea. Own brand rich tea. The ones that are Tesco's, it's the saddest thing in the world. Did they still make the white packets of stuff? Because I think they do make the white fire lighters. Their own brand fire lighters, I know that.
Now they have different degrees of it.
What?
So they have Tesco kind of own brand fancy. Then they have regular, and then they've like, that's the shite. And you nearly have to go under the shelf. It's nearly like,
oh my god, talk about shame. And do you have to climb? Do you have to crawl on your knees all the way to the checkout line?
Yeah, you have to crawl. Even if you're doing like the self-service, you just have to be on your knees the whole time, just like stretch up to put the stuff in. And
there is no pride. There's no pride in own brand stuff. I mean, but the likes of I know Dunn's and that they've gone into fucking, they'll write shit then like hand-tied sausages.
Yeah.
To say that it's a good sausage, you know, but it's still your own brand, you fuckers. It's still your own brand.
I know. Years ago, I used to work in a community radio station.
Lovely.
And it was when at the time, it was when Lidl was starting to come to Ireland, and there was a new Lidl opening up locally. Right. And I went to the opening of the Lidl.
Did you?
Yeah. Not like show busy,
but you went as press, did you?
I went as press, and I went around interviewing all the Elwins to check it out.
Yeah.
And the thing that they kept saying, and then the PR person got really annoyed at me, is we kept talking about the quality of the meat. And all the ones were like, I'll come for the few bits, but I get to meet me butchers. I wouldn't trust to me here. And I was like, yeah. That was the thing they all kept saying, that they get the crap, all the other crap, but the meat.
Don't fuck with the meat.
No, they'd be going to like Jim, the butcher or whatever, to get all that
and
stuff.
Jim could easily be fucking with the meat, like,
you know. Of course, but they just trusted him.
Because Jesus Christ, it must be 99. 2000 anyway. No, it would have been 2001, would have been around the first time one opened when I was in college in Limerick.
Oh yeah, well it wasn't the first one, but it was like around here now. It was like...
You mean the South Dublin?
The South of Dublin, yeah. It was like the first... I don't know, the first one locally, or I definitely hadn't been in one before.
Yeah, of course you had.
I knew it existed.
I hadn't been in, and I haven't been in one since.
No. That's where I do my weekly shop, of course. But yeah, it was gas. They didn't trust the meat, but now they all buy the meat.
But you didn't meat, like, that was the thing. We went in. We as students, this was dream world stuff. Like, because you're like, you fucking joking me. And I'll never forget one of the lads who was real skeptic, because he was. If you think I'm culty, I'm Bruce Wayne by fucking culty standards to this lad. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure, when you came in, I was like, this fella's gotta want a strong tea. I just knew. I didn't.
Yeah, and you put it to me like, because you're just a real blokey bloke. I know what you're thinking. You're a fucking culty. You want the spoon to be able to stand up inside in the fucking thing. That's what you want, you animal. Why didn't you just give it to me in a bucket altogether and put me down on the ground? And...
I know. I should have just put the bag of tea bags in the cup and just given it to you. You wouldn't leave the tea bag in, would you?
No, that's a real builder. Fucking that now is hardcore. I wouldn't be at that.
My daughter does that.
Does she?
She's 14.
Has she got a moustache?
I don't know what's happened.
Really?
I thought I'd done so well, and then she just.
Do you know what? The culty gene pops up every so often. Like Natasha's ludicrously South Dublin by birth, but all she wants, and all her family are. They're unbelievable. Yeah. They would get frightened at the sight of a cow. And all she wants is wellies and sticks and stuff. Yeah,
really?
Pure. And they cannot fathom it. But it's like the ginger gene you see pops up in a family. I think the culty gene has popped up in your daughter.
I know. The ginger gene pops up every so often, doesn't it?
Is there any gingers?
What, in my family?
Yeah, I didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, out loud, yeah. Yes, I'm ginger. Well, no, here's the thing about
you're not foxy, though.
Oh no, I'm ginger. Yeah. But neither of my parents are ginger.
Was your mother milking outside the bucket, as they say?
I don't know. Me and my brother. Well, I have two brothers. But on her family, there's all these gingers that pop up all over the place, but none of them are from ginger parents.
Well, weirdly, but it can quite literally pop up on someone's face. I have ginger bits on my face. Yeah. But it's the rest, I don't know what, my hair is fucked. Anyway, so there's no real point in talking about it. But I've never even won about haircuts anyway. Like it's
No.
If I can get one for free somewhere, that's where I'm at with haircuts.
Oh, well, let me tell you this now. Somebody was talking about hair transplants the other day.
What?
Somebody we both know has gotten a hair transplant.
I think I know who you're on about.
Yeah.
And
I was surprised.
yeah,
I thought that person would have been really confident. But then I was like, Jesus, if I start losing my hair, I'd want to do something about it.
I suppose, but it's
I don't know from how it is for a guy to lose his hair.
I suppose it's more of a shock to the system, I think. But kind of like mine has always kind of been the shape it is. Do you know what I mean?
Shape it is, yeah.
Well, just like a high kind of far. I don't know.
It's
like,
never been a big thing to you.
It was once upon a time for about a year. I'm guessing in my mid to late teens, I thought it was cool, you know. And then I realised, there's no point in trying to be cool.
Yeah,
because I'm
you
not
had that week where you were
and I realised I'm not very good at being cool, and I take great comfort in knowing that.
And now you know,
because the amount of people that try to chase being cool,
yes,
and going to get upset every time that somebody outcools them.
That's not cool, is it?
That's maybe I'm fucking unbelievably cool for not being cool.
But you see, if you're cool, you don't know that you're cool, so it's quite possible.
I doubt it.
But if we talk about it too much, we'll take away your
we'll ruin it.
Coolness. Yeah,
we'll ruin it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was surprised too. I didn't think he would be bothered.
Yeah.
And and it's fucking ludicrous money.
Crazy.
I knew a chap from years ago, and he became a bodybuilder and stuff, like, and he lost his hair. And I was kind of thinking, I suppose the bodybuilding itself at the extreme levels is probably a level of body dysmorphia, I suppose, where you hate yourself to a degree.
But that's a very streamlined look anyway, isn't it?
It's totally
in terms of hair.
Because you shave every other bit of your body.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they want a cap of hair for some. But I remember he went to South Africa to get it done because it was cheaper to go for a week or 10 days to South Africa and get it done than it was to do it here. Yeah. And he still coughed up something criminal, like 17 or 18,000. Like, to get a full head of hair done here, like, I suppose what would be the top.
Yes.
I think you'd be looking on the barrel of about 25, 26 grand. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's a lot of that's a lot of own brand biscuits.
I wouldn't, I can't think of anything to do with my, cosmetic wise that I would spend that kind of money on.
Yeah, alone, but like...
Yeah, I can't think of anything. But then I suppose if there's something that's really bugged you for ages, I just didn't... Some people I'd be shocked to hear that they did it because they're like, geez, I didn't even know it bugged you.
Yeah. I mean, but then I suppose everybody has their own little kind of thing, though. You just don't... Yeah.
And sure, a friend of mine could say, I hate my nose. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with your nose. Or, yeah.
Yeah. But I think, especially, I suppose with comedians, we're probably all a small bit fucked in the head.
Of course.
So when you find out that something about... It's not like, Jeff the bloke who's gas crack all... You know what I mean? It's already somebody who's probably some way cracked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, like if we do something strange, it's like, all right, it's acceptable because you go, that's a mad person. Like,
Yeah, I think most of them would be a bit, and there's different levels.
You'd be one of the more normal people. I would consider myself kind of normal as well.
Yeah,
but you'd be one of the I can sit down and have. I swear to God, I cannot have a conversation. I chat and I pal with, but I can have a conversation about not comedy with you at the back of the comedy club.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
And that's almost nobody. I won't say almost nobody, but they're in the minority. Those people in comedy.
Yeah, I think because when I started, I never, probably like you as well, I never really hung around.
No, artsy people and yeah.
And I never. But did you ever kind of hang around at gigs after?
No.
See, I never did.
I'd always someplace to go.
Yeah, I always did my spot and kind of left.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think I probably just didn't get into the whole... Like, obviously when I meet up with comedians, you talk about comedy and what's going on and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't get into that thing of constantly talking about this person, that person, what are they doing. And, so I think in a way it was good that I missed all of that.
Yeah. Right at the beginning, I was living in town. I was living in Inchicore. And a few nights, but it was like... a few nights I hung around afterwards, but a lot of those people are kind of gone out of comedy, or I don't see them much anymore.
Yeah.
But even at that, it was still a select few, because I was trying to normalise. I was like, why can't we have a conversation about traffic? Do you know, or
I know,
fucking the price of ice cream at the minute, like, you know, like. Instead, it was just.
Yeah, I know.
I understood. Yes, it's an all-encompassing thing to be doing. Like, but let's relax here 1 minute.
I know.
None of us are Dave Chappelle, like, you know. You know, like there's
sitting on drafty stairs, like moving out of the way for people going to the toilets.
Yeah, if you stood back and looked at it, you go, we should probably just walk away from this. Do our spot and walk away.
Because I remember going to the Inter as a customer, and actually it was sold out. It was one of the weekend shows, and. I remember, like, I was interested in comedy, but I hadn't even thought about stand-up or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, for myself. And I remember we couldn't get in, walked away. And afterwards I was like, what were they all doing fucking around on the stairs like a load of weirdos? I was like, looking out from the bars, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I saw them on the stairs and go, that's what I want. So, yeah, I think maybe I didn't hang around gigs too much, so I didn't get sick for the comedians, maybe as much as other
that's
people.
A valid point. Yeah,
I didn't get as like bitter or sick of the same people. I was probably still like, oh hey, how's it going? What are you doing? And whereas maybe some of them did that all in their first like 2 months, and now they're fucking sick of them. And
it's like getting burnt out too fucking early or whatever. No, I never. I'm just all handshakies. Yeah, look now, car's parked on the road. I have to fucking go. You're on your hoofs walking home, so I have to, you know.
You always drive as well, don't you?
Always drive.
See, I always drive as well, so, I don't know. I think that's what it is. I suppose there's lots of different types of people that do comedy as well, isn't there? Like, some people are quite shy and socially awkward who do it, you know?
That's the thing that surprised me when I started doing it. It was like, I thought you'd all be gas bastards.
I know,
and now there are some gas bastards, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
But, Jesus, like there's a few.
I know, but then when you meet them, you're like, oh, geez, of course, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
You're like, of course.
So you keep all that pent up sociable kind of a vibe, and then all of a sudden you put it on stage, like
you just release and then it goes back. But
so when did you start?
I started. Oh, let me think now. What year is it now? 2018.
What year have we?
4 years ago.
Right.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Where?
Halfpenny.
Was it?
Yeah.
At the old Duck.
The Duck.
Yeah.
Did you do the old Duck?
I did. I think it was about my third gig. I think. Well, I done a few gigs. No, I tell a lie. It was probably about the third month, and I'd done actually a bunch of gigs in a very small club in Cork when I was living in Cork.
Oh, right.
And they had me back. See, anybody I was friends with had never darkened the door of a comedy club, including me prior to being in a comedy club. And
so it was completely alien.
It was unbelievably alien. And so what had happened then was, we used to go out every Saturday night. We were all working in the buildings.
Yeah.
And all my mates would go, are you on? And I used to, like, the lads that were running it would go, we'll throw this fucker on. Give him no money, obviously, because it's an open mic.
Yeah.
Let him do his 7 minutes or whatever, and he'll bring fucking 10 people. What started to happen then, rather than it dwindling, it has started expanding. People who knew people went, you have to see this little comedy club. Not see me. You have to see this little comedy club.
Okay, yeah.
And it was actually a ridiculously funky comedy club called the Crack House.
Okay.
And it was hipster with it by accident, in that they had busted old sofas, cool old lamps. But it looked like more like a man who'd cleared out his mother's garage and fucked it all into the back part of a bar.
Yeah.
And do you know Billy Anderson, the American chap?
Yes.
He was running it at the time.
Right, okay, yeah.
And so I'd had a spot every single week for about 3 months in this one place. So I'd gotten quite comfortable with my 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was up. My first gig in Dublin was at the Battle of the Axe for the Duck, and I'd met up with 3 friends who didn't know I was doing any comedy at all. Lads I'd gone to school with who were living in Dublin. And we were sitting there having a drink, and I'd said nothing. And the next thing I got called to the stage, and you want to see the 3 lads, they looked like they were going to puke. Because it's like, why would you do this to yourself? It's like trying to be cool as fuck. It's like, no, don't worry. And it went fine. I'm pretty sure it was shite, but in my head it was
at the level you were at the time.
Oh yeah, it was perfect for the level I was at. Yeah, it was perfect. Like and there was everybody else was probably around the same level. And I think more so because the 3 lads were just flabbergasted. They gave me the Duck, and it was like. you won your first. And I said, no, it wasn't. It wasn't my first gig. Like.
And so you had no performers in your family or anything like that?
Nothing. I did a play when I was 4.
So when you said it to your parents, were they just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, the acting and everything.
Yeah, I know. It just it took off really quickly. Yeah, so it
was the stand-up first?
Stand-up was first, and then the acting came from that. But what you see, like I have a very simple brain. I've developed a very simple brain. I used to worry about loads of small things before.
Okay.
And I don't know did I get hit in the head, or was it losing me bollocks during the recession, or something rewired my head where I've only about 3 gears now, where I had 24 gears like your average person.
Yeah.
So now, if a thing is in front of me, I'm fuck all use at anything else, and every bit of the engine power is going into that.
Yeah.
So I pick up things quite quickly now, which I didn't in the past. But I don't know what's happened. But
so you were concentrating on loads of little things.
Yeah, like everybody does, worried about fucking did I leave that rat on or what? I become an idiot, but I get really good at one thing, or at least I get passable at one thing. Like so, and that's how people can't understand how I didn't do acting before. Like I hadn't at all.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So what year was Cork then?
8 years ago.
8 years ago?
Yeah, 2010, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
So...
Yeah, when you say 2010, I want to say, oh, that's 2 years ago, but no, it's not.
Actually, yeah, this... What date are we? The 8th?
8th? Yeah, 8th, something like that.
So Sunday 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it just...
Yeah, God, it really did go fast, didn't it?
It did and it didn't. Like, I mean, you get to a certain level and you're like... Because there's ebbs and flows. Like, one month you're rocking it and all these fucking gigs and all the rest of it. Then you're going, what the fuck happened this month? You know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, because people always say... People will say things to me, you know, if you bump into somebody like that you went to college with or, you know, is an acquaintance or... Even friends would say, "Jeez, you're doing well for yourself." I'm like, how?
How? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I saw something on a website about you the other day. I'm just like, and?
By any chance, are you a bank manager?
Yeah. Like, and I put it on the sandwich and I had it. I'm just like, no. What are you talking about? So, yeah, when people are looking from the outside, I'm sure people are saying to you, "Jeez, that was fast." You're like, no, fucking wasn't fast.
Yes. The dumps I've had to do gigs in, like, in the fucking, you know what I mean?
Big style.
Because we did a gig together in Wicklow, didn't we? Was it Wicklow?
Yes, it was somewhere in Wicklow.
There was a snooker room, I remember that. We were out in the snooker room.
Yes, we were in the snooker room, yeah.
Talk about a bunch of people who did not want to be at a comedy gig.
What was the whole thing about that?
It was for a GA club.
Yes.
And all the lads that were at the back of the bar.
Yes.
Really enjoyed it.
Yes.
But nobody up the front wanted to be there. But they were, you see, this is what happens, you see, they'll pay their tenner towards the club.
Yes.
And if it happens to be going on in the pub that they like to drink, they've now paid their tenner that they're happy to give to their club.
I remember it now.
And
so it's me, you, Gar, was he working?
Gar Moran was host. I'd say Paul Marsh normally is hosting.
Oh yeah, Paul Marsh. Yeah. And it was, I remember the vibe was just weird, wasn't it?
Was weird.
I think I got on okay. I remember it like doing all right. Like I was like, "Jeez, that was grand."
Yeah, it was. But I just remember thinking, and I can't help it. Again, I couldn't focus on the lads down the back who were having the crack. It was the two couples up the front.
Yes.
I couldn't stop looking at their straight faces. Like
I get that a bit, but I'm not. I hear a lot of people say that they keep focusing on that one person that's like a little like fucker in the audience. I don't get that too bad.
I'm starting to get...
I see that person and I actually just start to look away because I know some people it really annoys them when they start going at them. Then like
I kind of do, and I'm kind of I shouldn't like I fucking do like.
I go to I slag an audience member sometimes too much, and I've started to stop doing that.
There's times though, Emma, where it's very good.
No, but I have to. I have this thing now where I have to remind the audience that it's
crack.
It's crack, and like these are a great audience, and we're having this crack because you're so good.
Talk about backhanded pandering. Like
no, because before when I started like talking to the audience, I was saying things to them like I'd be slagging like a family member.
Yeah.
And they'd like, oh.
Yeah.
They get turned, like, they just would turn off straight away. So I've stopped doing that. I've been more cautious to be nicer
Yeah, because
with my
I suppose
slang.
you have to.
Not as...
They don't want you to break the fourth wall. Where you
No.
kind of clearly are. You're like, aren't we all gas lads? And we having some crack here. Anyway, fair play to you for losing the weight, Mary.
Yeah.
And you move on. I've done that myself. I've definitely.
It's only because I'm relaxed.
Yeah, I
And
used
then
to.
I go, oh shit.
I'd say it was probably closed or closing the Bankers. Do you remember the Bankers?
Yes, actually, oh my god, I did Bankers. I didn't know, it was just before it closed. So I was on, when I started doing comedy, and from initially as I started, I was like getting on well. You know, like, you know that thing of when you start and you can kind of, you're getting your gigs and you're really enjoying it, and you know, you're writing new jokes and you think like, Jesus, I love this.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get gigs, all the clubs, and I went to Bankers. I was trying to get Bankers.
Yeah.
And your man was not getting back to me at all. And eventually he said he was going to give me a spot. I think like 7 minutes at
Right.
Bankers. And he made a big deal about it. About like, this is it, right? Just, are you able to do this? What have you got? And like, it was like, I was like, I felt like it was being filmed for a talent show. It was just how much do you want this? And all. I was like, can I just do the fucking...
Jesus.
So I got on. I actually had like one of the best gigs I'd had, you know, up to then.
Yeah.
And I think other people weren't getting on great, because I think there was a few, it wasn't a big audience, but I think there was a few like groups of women who were like really into the jokes and stuff, and they just bought into it. So I had a great time. And then he was like, sometimes, he says to me after, he goes, sometimes when you take a chance on somebody, it just works. And all this. And I was
fuck
like,
off,
okay.
like, Jesus.
Then the fucking closed the next week. And I was like, what was the big fucking thing?
Yeah, because you can be guaranteed he did not know that.
Of
I
course.
hadn't. I enjoyed the Bankers for those women. I enjoyed it because groups of women used to come in the whole time.
Okay.
And they were always full of cider. And they were always rowdy enough. And like, I loved that because it was
perfect rowdy though, you know.
Yeah, I know, perfect, but give it a bit of lip, which is perfect. They were feeding you. But I noticed lads struggling with that because they were like, hold on, I'm here to do material now.
Yeah.
And these people were going, well, I paid in and I want to be part of the show.
Yes.
So I enjoyed that to and fro with them, like. But I think for some people, but then like that, I'd be quite like you two, where I'm happy enough to chat away to them. But I was going to getting around to.
When you were saying had I done it or did I do it?
I don't know what. I don't know why I was asking you that. Anyway, we may come back to that at another stage.
Yeah, so I did it once.
Well, I think it was along those. It was along those lines. Is that I used to be in there and enjoy talking with audience members. Like, I noticed it never went too far. Even in my head, I'm going too far here. But people were just, don't fucking bring it on. I always kind of liked the place for that. But, I mean, standing around in a fucking stairwell as well for the night, but...
A nice stairwell, though, in fairness.
Some of the better ones. It didn't have peeling lino on the fucking floor from the 40s. Like.
There's a bit of space. So that's a nice stairwell.
Do you remember, because I was just, you put it into my head about talking to people. Do you remember the night, I think I was hosting the battle, and there was an owl one.
Oh,
do you remember her?
My God.
Both you went to town on her, and I was ready to punch her. I was actually ready to fight an elderly lady.
God, what was wrong with her?
She was just in there by herself, drinking pints of cider.
Yeah,
cider and old ladies does not mix. Pints of it anyway.
Her body was standing at the bar, but as far as she was concerned, she was at home in bed.
Oh yeah,
relaxing. The whole thing was a dream to her.
Like
she had no idea what was going on.
I definitely think you told her to shut the fuck up a few times. Like,
I think I did.
I don't know. Were you still there? Did you leg it when she got on stage with me?
Oh, I think I must have gone.
Yeah. She went to get up. I said something. I was like, and I was going to town on her, and she said, she gets up. She goes, "I'll fucking batter you." Lady, I swear to God, only because I'm a feminist, I'm ready to take my top off right now, get into the middle of the street, and let's fight. And the place were just roaring, laughing. The irony of a feminist wanting to fight a woman, because it's just equal rights. Let's do it.
Oh my God,
and
she
gets up and she hits me into the side of the head, and I'm not. It took everything I have not to just fucking drop kick her.
So like that wasn't even that long ago.
No,
I'm just like, oh yeah, it's coming back to me now. I must just block this shit out, because that was like,
yeah,
that was like,
I had blocked it until somebody who was
A
on
pit,
that night
wasn't
said it was an animal pit, but I was there was a dark.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's a darkness in me. I loved it. There's to a certain degree.
I wasn't just telling her to fuck off. I was getting personal with her.
Yeah, you did, yeah. But like, which I was loving because it's like fine because everybody else was struggling badly with her, and
She needed to be told though because she was. No, because in full context, she was kind of upsetting other people and stuff.
Yeah, she was upsetting people around her, and she was upsetting every comedian. And I was getting annoyed with me because I was like, I need to fucking attack her. And, and fair play, you went up and you went, I'm going to have some of you.
Yeah, because I was like, I was on before the break or something, so I was like, right, I'll go and attack her now, and maybe just shut her up before the break or whatever. But I remember that now. Yeah, she was just. Yeah, she was not.
I broke the mic stand and never I got so angry.
That's still broken. I'm serious.
No, I broke that's the new one. I broke that at Unhinged. There's something happens to me in that club. I can't go in there anymore. She gets up, she hits me that time, and the next thing she
just is a pit as well.
Yeah, that's another fucking animal pit. Like that was the last we actually met you at the back there, and we were both watching, looking on at the fucking carnage, just going, "This is a car crash, a pile-up."
I actually love doing like.
You're the only other person that has said exactly what I've said. There's no love I have for this gig, but there's something good about this gig because God bless Connor, the mad bastard. He takes it into the ground so deep that you have to fucking roll your sleeves up hard.
Yeah, you
to
never
make it
know
work.
what it's going to be. Or in that place, I've done so much like crowd work that I never would have done anywhere before. So now I can go and do that anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's only like in the last, I would say, year or two where I feel comfortable to do that anywhere now. Like just go straight into the crowd.
Because
I've done it there.
And we've Connor to thank for it. Really, yeah.
No, totally.
The mad bastard, like.
Because I wouldn't have done it. I would have been very much when I started, and I'm sure a lot of people like that when they start, but I would have been very much material. Of
course,
more like deadpan, whatever. And it's from doing that crazy fucking gig that now I'd have no fear asking anyone in an audience. Like before, you know the way there's one comedian now where he asks people questions. He's not based in Dublin, but he asks people questions. He asks them what their name is and what they do for a living, and then he goes, "Great, fair play to you," and he said that's his answer to everybody. But it's just because I can see in him. He wants to ask people questions, but he's not comfortable enough.
Yeah.
And he's like, in his mind, he's like, please don't fucking answer me.
Yes, I get you. Yeah.
So he just goes, fair play, grand, and just moves on. So I would still like wouldn't have talked to an audience only for that place.
I think it was the bankers that probably gave me that confidence because I took one night he was badly caught. And like that, it was a rigmarole to get in there too. But one night he was badly caught, and he had me host it because he couldn't be there and actually take the money and everything.
Yes. Did he host? Did he?
Typically, yeah.
Okay.
And he asked me to host it, and I did, and I took the money, and they had actually a good night of money and all the rest of it, and there was no problem. So he had me back a few times. So that was not just. That was getting to host then. So for about 6 months, I was on at least once a month in there. Hosting, and there were adults you're hosting to too. It's not a fucking, yourself.
Yes.
Like, you're only going to get the same answer out of a bunch of 20-year-olds. There's only so many things they can tell you.
Yeah.
Because they haven't experienced fuck all, and they're probably all in college.
I know.
Do you know? And they don't even, when you ask them what course they're doing, they can only tell you what course they're doing.
And who cares anyway?
Who gives a bollocks? Unless you're doing something mental.
I know.
But if you're doing business or accounting, God bless you, there's not a lot to be had there.
Yeah.
But these were people who had real jobs.
Yeah.
And
of course.
And it made for a good old workout.
Yeah.
But getting back, that night, that's when I snapped altogether, when I broke the microphone stand that night, when she said something like, "Sure, I could fucking tell jokes better than you." And a couple of the fucking audience started going, "Go on, give her a go, give her a fuck."
Yeah.
And that's when I lost it. I said, "You see all those fucking comedians down the back there, how long they have to fucking wait to get a 5-minute spot here, and you want this old cunt to come up here and get the fuck down before I kick you all in the fucking head." And bang! I broke the microphone stand.
I remember that now, because I remember a few faces in the audience were like, "Oh, we shouldn't have said that to him."
Yeah.
They did actually
because it was
go right.
But that was genuine. It was one of the few times I've ever tipped over into.
Yes.
We're having gas, and Tom's being slightly funny and aggressive here, but I definitely snapped there because it was like, number one, you've just hit me, And now you're all fucking telling her to tell some jokes and what everybody in the comedy industry has to do, like, to get to, do you know? So it was like, fuck off. But yeah, I broke the other microphone stand because there was an American couple snogging and drinking shots. And then they were after getting an Irish couple drunk. Throughout the night I could see this happening. And they were just having, as loud as we're having right now, a conversation. And Connor hadn't put it to bed properly, like. And I got up there, and about 10 minutes in, they were still back chatting again. And I lost it. Not actually lost it.
Yeah.
But funny kind of, again, I told him, all for you, I'll fight all for you. Fuck it, I'll fight all for you. But I'm bringing this fucking mic stand.
I suppose as well, these are gigs that are happening in Temple Bar.
Oh, there can be no surprise.
You never know.
There can be no. You may be doing it on
the door.
It's Dublin's Vegas Strip, basically.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Totally is, yeah.
So it is. Every place you go into is an animal pit, like.
Yeah.
Like the last time I was in there, it was a midweek, and like there's no better way of describing it or cleaner way. It's somebody had taken a shit in the floor of the Jacks, like. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're going. And here's the thing: my brain was going. Yeah,
really?
That's Temple Bar. That's
Where was this?
It's downstairs.
No.
Yeah, downstairs. I just popped in to say. No, thankfully it wasn't. To be honest, I didn't hang around. I think I was
just for conversation.
To be fair, I think I just popped in.
What?
I think I just popped in there just to avoid having conversation with somebody. I think, to be honest with you,
Jesus,
just
on the floor.
Yeah, dump on the floor. It's like, yeah, that's Temple Bar. You cannot, like, you couldn't get surprised if you owned a property that's selling booze in Temple Bar.
Oh yeah, God.
The level of humanity.
I wouldn't. You wouldn't want that life, would you?
Fuck, it'd just dominate your thoughts, wouldn't it?
I
just
couldn't do it.
Every waking day.
No.
Some new fucking pile of dickheads.
But that's why your man who owns the place is like,
he doesn't give a shit.
No.
He doesn't, like...
He'd clatter a child in a blink of an eye.
He would not have...
If they were in there drinking a can of 7-Up purchased from another shop.
All three of his children were still working the barn.
Yes.
And the two girls have full-time jobs.
Yes. But that's what you need to do when you have that kind of business, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because all the sticky fingers.
What he said, like, and they've no choice in it. I talked to him, and they've gone, no, you don't tell him no.
Yeah.
Like, I remember talking with the Mad Bastard one day, because he's from not far where I'm from at home. Like,
oh, right, okay.
And there would be a breed of humans like that from where I'm from. So, like I said, I'm fucking soft. Like, I'm the soft version.
There's not many, like, but when I see him walking around the bar, or like walking out on the floor, I do check the table. Because I've seen him give out to people before for bringing bottles of water.
Oh yeah, he'd fuck you out.
So I kind of do this thing where I check to see if anyone else has, but like just to, to diffuse any potential situation.
So you're keeping sketch, is it?
I'm looking out for other people, like trying to like look after their bottles of water. Like, don't get us in trouble, everybody.
He would, but he would fuck people out. Like, he was telling me when he moved to Dublin first, he got a
so you and him have really chatted now because
we have,
you're from the same.
But no, not really. That, and I needed to get to the bottom of this madman. Yes. And I was passing him one day, and I popped in for like a pint, and I didn't even want a pint, but I saw him sitting in there reading the newspaper. And I went, there's something fucking interesting about that fella.
Yeah.
Now you couldn't have him on the podcast. You just couldn't. Like, maybe you could, I don't know, but he'd probably just keep on looking at it, and probably get really refined,
It'd probably be like 10 minutes, or no, probably like 5 minutes long, or 6 hours.
Yeah. Like, I can't tell you, on the podcast, I can't even tell you the full, that's how mental.
Really?
20 minutes of sitting in there was. But he was telling me when he moved to Dublin first, because that was the policy. Because this is the thing, I asked him first, I said, why do so many Tipperary people own bars in Dublin?
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, when you look into it, there's actually an association of Tipperary bar owners of Dublin.
Right.
If you go, chaplains.
Yes.
Downstairs, you'll see it on the wall. There's a meeting, like a fraternity. There's a meeting.
No.
Yeah, I swear to God, Sir Louis Fitzgerald owns 60 odd bars.
Crazy.
But anyway, I said to him, how did you? He was telling me basically, if you didn't get the farm and you weren't sticking about, fuck off up to Dublin, go working in a pub, because you'd get a gig off another tip fella, like just looking after you.
Right.
But back then it was 7 days a week. 7 days a week, 1 day off a year, Christmas Day and Good Friday, 2 days. That was it. Fuck you. Work you to the bone. And he said, then when I started managing bars, he said, they'd send me up, lads. He says, and you could see it. He said, lads were getting soft. They wanted like fucking 2 days off a month. And you're like, yeah, that's normal. That's actually fact. That's not normal. give him 8 days off and want your bollocks.
That
Like,
is
no.
his voice, though.
Yeah, but he'd just stand there like, and like he could not grasp why would you not want to be working every minute of every fucking day, like. I like that man is a multimillionaire, like with property and everything. Like but you wouldn't know it. Like I was telling Trace one night, I was inside. I said, "What was your fucking howl at that the other night?" She's like, "Why?" Oh, like what was he doing? I says, "I was in the International, a completely other bar, on up the road, and I was on stage closing the fucking show, full house on a Friday or something." Or,
yeah.
Your man sticks his head in the door. How are you? I says, "How are you, Mick?" And he looked out and backed out the fucking door again. And everybody was in the audience. Of course, their eye line, the door's right beside the stage, so their eye line is all drawn straight to him. And whatever bit I was in the middle of completely died in its hole on that, like a brick wall.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only way to get it back was to explain exactly who he was through the medium of Dave McSavage's character of him, Mick the Bull. And just start doing impressions, David McSavage. And it's the only way. Now, I says, now that I've got you back. And I went back to my joke. But I said it to him, and she was like, "Oh my God, he's just an addict for work." Basically, he was at home with itchy feet. That was supposed to be his night off. Couldn't sit fucking still. Sat in the car and drove back into town. Rather than going into his own pub, he went around to see how all the other pubs were doing. Yeah. Work, just a madman for work, like.
So he just kind of stuck his nose into the other pubs just to see what
see how it's going, see how their comedy club is doing. Not that he cared about comedy, just see how much money they were making, like basically off the bar, like,
People sitting there with drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it though.
Oh yeah, like he's mad, just mad for work.
Yeah,
just a madman.
I would not mess with him.
No.
I can't think of anyone else kind of, in the
that you run
the
into.
That I'd be like, fuck off. Like, don't mind him, but him, no, you better listen to what he says.
The amount
he's
of
fucking rude.
the level of lack of fucks he gives, like, is unbelievable.
Oh, you can see it in the eyes.
Yeah, like that. Just walked into the 90 people inside the International, and I on stage, ripping through a nice and doing well, and then just stuck his head in.
I can totally imagine that. No, he's a serious fucker, isn't he?
Like the stuff he's talked about, like between talking about the Ra and he'd shoot a man, all this kind of stuff, and you're going, man, you could be dropped back into 1916, 17.
He's still there.
He's still there, man. Yeah, he's still there. Tell me about families that still don't talk because they're on different sides of the Civil War. You're like, what? It's fucking 20 years ago or 100 years ago.
So you just popped in and say, "Oh, how's it going?"
But I was just trying to get into the mind of this man to see, because I just found him so interesting that I was going, and for all the wrong, like I said, this fella's too intense not to actually dissect some bit, like, and just my nosiness got the better of me, like.
But sure, he's no interest in comedy.
No. Pints. Who's buying pints?
Yeah, a lot of the barmen are like that, aren't they?
They are. Any publican, they don't give a shit about. Like we've set up comedy clubs. Like myself and Danny ran a couple. Danny O'Brien ran a couple.
Oh yeah,
they'd go great, but that was never good enough for the people behind the bar. They all of a sudden they cut the funding and going. Yeah, I was looking at the books there. You could always do better, couldn't it? You're like, it could, I guess. It could, but it's doing really well. Yeah, right.
But always cut out with them.
Oh, there was always some fucking issue that they'd be delighted, they'd be buzzing the first night or two.
Yeah.
Third night of it.
It's hard though to set up a club, isn't it?
It's very difficult. Like you really, you have to be in it for the long haul, and you need the people on board, the actual venue owner.
I think even now, there's a real, I don't know what you think now about comedy, I think there's a real lull in the clubs.
There is, of course, because people are being distracted by online shite. Like that's like what, and I mean that's probably me being snobby.
Brexit now is meant to be a big, is meant to affect all the weekend trips.
I suppose.
And stuff.
But then
supposedly, I don't know.
You look around town, there's fucking jammers. You look out on the road, there's nothing but English cars. Out the country roads, like where people are visiting.
I don't know. Yeah, so there's always a few that pop up every so often, and then they kind of last. Because I can't remember who it was. There was a club and somebody saying, "Oh, I was booked in, but they're changing the room, so they're going to open it back up again in a month or whatever." I was like, "That's fucking gone." Is that? I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's got something."
It's tough to compete.
Something there, like the venue is like having none of it anymore or whatever.
It's tough to compete, with, and it's genuine. And I can tell you this, like I shouldn't call anything shite, really, because it's horses for courses, everybody.
Yeah.
But the online thing is definitely having an effect. Because you know yourself, like, it's these character-driven things, like, when it's all well and good. Like, and this is something I was talking about. Who was I talking with in the club? 2 young comedians. They're a couple. Fuck, I forget.
Ashley and John.
No, it wasn't. They're another couple. I was actually talking with Maurice. Yes, and Oisin. John and Ashley I was talking about. I was asking Ashley, was she really posh because her name was Bentley, you know, after the cars. She goes, I've gone my entire life and I've never once thought of that. I said, how the fuck? Your name is Bentley. I says,
oh my god.
She goes, no. And then we discussed Bentleys and how for the Arab Emirates they'll actually design you one that will stand your Falcon on the dashboard. They have a little stand. It will fit a mahogany stand on your dashboard.
I can't imagine Ashley.
No, she actually came. It was gas. She turned to John. She went, "That is gas," because my family are total scumbags. And he said it. He went, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But she said it in the same way as, like, my family are totally into fishing. My family are total scumbags. The way she said it so easy, like, and she's not a bit, like, you know.
No, not at all.
But it was Oisin and Maurice, and I was telling, like, because she asked me, she goes, are you okay with not being in the demo and Ivor movie, like?
Oh, you're not in it?
No.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that, because I saw, not all the time, I saw a little bit about it, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
But I was like, geez, I wonder how that did, or what happened
I don't know what the crack was. Like, they contacted me before they even started making, just a heads up, Tom, look, we've gotten the green light for the movie, but a lot of the Southside characters are gone.
Right.
And
because they had the 3 brothers now, wasn't it? So it probably needed to...
I think it was a road trip. So I can only surmise that funding wasn't there, because if you have something that's a road trip, there's a reason why you have it. A lot of it's set in a vehicle.
Yes. And
you're cutting. They didn't want any balance to the story, so they didn't need us outside. So the story was clearly going off.
Yes.
And I said it to Maurice, like, because Oisin was like, "Oh, jeez, why are you asking him?" No, honestly, I got paid for the 2 series I was in. Like, it's absolutely no problem. So it would have been great, but look at. You move on.
You would have got a nice 3 weeks work out of it.
Yeah, but then I think the funding wasn't as massive as the TV show. TV show got colossal funding, like.
Yeah, because, this is it now. Obviously, someone who's not involved in it or whatever. But it did seem like, the movie, and then it was just like, poof. That was the last I heard.
Yeah, it seems strange. I honest to God don't know anything about it. But it was when it said that, it was like, she was asking, she goes, what's the deal, like, you know, with it being so popular? And I said,
oh, right, because she's maybe... Well, she's not that young, is she?
I have no idea. I can't put an age in either one of them.
I think she's about 26.
Right.
27. Although I'm saying, that's not that young, but, like, I'm knocking on 34. So
I'm 36, so
there's a bit of a gap. You know, in my head, I'm still, like, cruising up to 30. Like, no, there's a bit more of a gap. So maybe she missed the boat.
Maybe. I think it was a loaded question into... they couldn't wrap their heads around
why it was popular, or
why things were popular that weren't why stand-up wasn't more popular. Right. I think it's the conversation she was drumming up, and I was just, look, it is horses for courses, and they were kind of, and I shouldn't say that any online whatchamacallits, but it is for whoever's into it.
Yes.
I helped. They were on the podcast, and I've had your man Farmer Michael on the podcast because I needed to get to the bottom of this in my head. I couldn't understand it.
Yeah. Oh,
and they couldn't understand it themselves. They were like, I know, but we just kept plugging away at and pumping out material, and it has.
And enjoying it.
It was nichey to a degree where people go, that's exactly, you know, to what I was thinking.
They've really, like, taken off in England and stuff.
Incredible. Like, filling a fucking theatres in England.
Yeah.
But I said it, I helped 2 lads who were on the podcast again from Tipperary, the 2 Johnnies.
Oh, yes.
The 2 lads right now are in Abu Dhabi performing.
Fuck.
They got flown out there. Like... because they have such a following now. So
what did they do on stage then?
They have a fairly comprehensive stage show now. One of the Johnnies was always a singer and always sang in bands and stuff.
Right.
The other fella joined him. They made a couple of videos pretty much that took off huge because they were in support of the Tipperary hurling team, but they were always funny.
Yes.
And then they started making sketches. The sketches got better. And they rang me up one night and said, we're thinking of putting on a stage show, and we've never done such a thing before. What the fuck do we do? And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, as lads I know, I'm going, like 2 younger brothers nearly going, fuck me. You're actually thinking of going, because I'm thinking stand-up, right?
Yes.
You have to be, in my head I'm going, you have to be at Foil Arms and a hog stander to entertain people. You have to understand this. Like.
Yeah.
So I went and we talked it through and everything else, and I was like, oh my God, listen, I'm going to help you. I'm going to open for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to bang out 20 fucking hard minutes and bring you on.
Yeah.
Because this needs to, well, fuck me. I couldn't have been more wrong. The place was sold out in like 4 minutes, quite literally. People came down from Dublin, people flew in from the UK. They could have put on 4 nights in this venue in Clonmel. I go on stage, it was like trying to wrangle cats for the first 10 minutes because there's people that didn't know what it was to be at a live performance.
Yes.
They didn't know how to sit straight. These were all normal people, but they were just blue-collar Joes and Josephines who didn't know what the fuck to be doing. Like.
Yeah.
And I kind of wrangled them together and we got on board and I said, look at this. And we had cracked then a bit of crowd work and actually got a little bit of material out and explained how comedy works and look, sit forward, enjoy yourselves, turn off your fucking phones, you know. Yeah. So we got to the break and the lads then go on and it's a first ever show, so there's long pauses and stuff in between things, you know, and because they have sketches and then there's songs,
right? And
people were, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how are people going to react to the sketches not being polished like.
Yes.
And it was like 2-3 minutes of kind of chuckles and stuff like that. Then a song would come around. Well, fuck me, the roof would come off the place. People were willing to give him all that time just to see him. They didn't give a shit. They had no meter to measure him on. They didn't fuck it. They would never come and see Tom O'Mahony and Emma Doran. They'll never ever will ever come see us. It's just, we're not on their radar. So they've nothing to measure it against. Like. So the lads were just fucking absolutely smashing it in their... Like, I had people come up to me and tell me that I should definitely give comedy a go because I was right good up there that night. I'm like, oh my God. I was taken to thank you very much for saying such a thing. Yes. But fuck me. Like, you have no idea. That has taken every ounce of every bit of experience I have to get you in the right mode, because you fuckers are ready to eat the furniture.
Yeah.
You know, one guy he worked for my sister and he wrote her like what would be like a 2 A4 page on how good he thought I was and that I should definitely keep it up and everything. And she just sent it on to me and she rang me when I'm sending an email. Don't get mad. It comes from a really good place.
Take it as
but this person, he's not, because I'm not prolific on Snapchat, and this is where these people live. They live on Snapchat. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because I have done videos myself online.
And your videos have done well.
Any work that I have got has been, or anything that I have gotten out of comedy has been from online stuff.
Really?
None of it from stand-up.
Yeah.
Like me and, Martin, we used to have this joke about going to the Halfpenny. Oh yeah, because I was telling him about a friend of mine, I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody was saying to me, asking like, how does the whole stand-up thing work?
Yeah.
You know, they just, and why would you? I had absolutely no idea. And they were like, oh, would there be like, would agents go to gigs to like, watch like talent scouts and stuff? And we just thought this was hilarious. We're like, oh God, like, can you imagine a scout like with the trench coat and the shades?
Oh my God, looking incognito, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When like there's all these like 12 Americans, one French guy, fucking keeping the whole room together, and we just thought it was the funniest thing. But yes, it was actually I originally did videos with friends of mine, with
Julie, because you did a couple of class ones with Julie as well.
I did some with Julie, but even before I started stand up, I did a few with friends.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I was basically always interested in TV, but like funny TV.
Yeah,
but I was like, how would you get into something like that? Or, like, I always thought, like, back when it started, I was like, oh, Republic of Telly, that'd be, like, the perfect show to be involved in. And then this fella, I think had a show reel or something, and he watched it, this producer. I literally went on LinkedIn.
Right.
So I always knew production companies, and I'd worked as a production assistant a few times.
Right, so okay.
But I was always really interested in TV. Like, I'd watch the credits to see what production company made it, who produced it, who. Yeah. It was just my thing. I was always interested in it. I went on LinkedIn and I just found like this random fella who had been a producer on like fucking Off the Rails. Now I didn't want a job on Off the Rails.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I have this show, Real, any advice? And it was kind of a funny one. And he was like, his advice was, you should do sketches.
It wasn't John Murphy, was it?
No,
Right.
it wasn't John. It was Mick Brennan.
Right.
He's in Joe now.
Yes.
Joe.ie.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he actually then got me in for an audition for a prank show. So we made these...
In RT, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went for... It would have been about 4 or 5 years ago as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think they were looking for one female character for one part of it or something. And now at the time I was pregnant, and it was like when they were filming, that's literally when I was going to give birth. But we had done 4 sketches or something, no, maybe 6.
Right.
Put them up on YouTube. When we put them up on Facebook, we shared it directly from YouTube. You know the way if you do that now, that doesn't get any...
Not so, because only a
reach.
tiny little picture, because YouTube
Yes.
and Facebook don't like each other, obviously.
Of course, yeah. But we didn't have a clue, and we'd be delighted if like 100 people watched the video.
Yeah.
We were just like, that's funny. And we would never... it was purely just for the enjoyment of it and stuff. So we got us in to do this audition, and we were like, fucking hell, lads. Yeah. Look at us here now, in the canteen, you know what I mean, chilling out.
There's Angus McAnally over there. Look.
Yeah, but then his advice was, after that, he was like, I did the audition, and I went really well, and he's like, you have to start doing stand-up.
Right.
And I was like, oh, do you think so? And I was like, yeah, I had thought about it, because I think I'd have kind of opened the comedy part of my brain, like, oh, maybe you could. There is places to do this, or like I would have never thought about stand-up.
Yeah.
Or like anything like that. I didn't know you could just rock up and
tell jokes to public.
Yeah, I just didn't know that was a thing. So I was like, yeah, maybe I will. And then I started doing stand-up. But then I started doing sketches again because we did some with my cousin, and I got him to produce them and film them. But I kind of felt bad always asking somebody to do them for me.
Yeah, I know. It's
do you
no
know
money.
Kind of
Like,
yeah, you're kind of like constantly asking them to do you a favour. And then I just filmed some on my phone.
Yeah.
And a few of them went viral. And then you start getting contacted by people. And this is I've been doing stand-up for ages then.
Right.
Do you know, like really trying to get stuff out of it and stuff. And then even like say when I got Republic of Telly, and now just the way you get like a few lines or whatever, but you're delighted because there's fuck all to get.
Yeah.
That was from sending a video into them.
There was a great vehicle once upon a time.
Yeah, they had a call out actually.
I remember
to send
that. Yeah,
stuff in.
Because I remember seeing a few, and it would be well. There used to be some stand-up clips as well that put at the end of the show. I think it was
did they?
Because I know for a fact Rory O'Hanlon had a bit of his. I think it was taken from Manchester or something. Yeah, and I don't think was it Dermot Whelan. I think was hosting the show at the time.
Right.
Because it popped up and I was quite literally standing in the wings because Dame One Ivor was a sketch on it at the time.
Right.
So was the Rubber Bandits. So you can see what came from that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? A fucking huge. Obviously, the Rubber Bandits became the Rubber Bandits, but like, But it was again, nothing was relatable to.
But you remember there always used to be stand up on the Late Late.
Yeah. It was like
that's like.
It's interesting because here's
just goes through cycles though. I think
here's a theory, right? Because I've been thinking about this since last week's podcast that I did with a boxer called Luke Keeler, right?
Okay.
And Luke,
I have boxers in my family.
Have you boxers in your family?
Yeah, cousin is Big Joe Egan or something.
Oh right.
Yes.
Right. Fucking hell, get him on board. But he was explaining to me the new promotions company that's after taking him on. Now he's training now. He was training with. Yeah. He was training with Pascal Collins, Steve Collins' brother, and great gym, Celtic Warriors gym, and they still have a bunch of professionals. But he's after moving to Steve Taylor, Katie Taylor's father. But the promotions company that's after taking him on are MTK, which are Mac the Knife, which used to have associations with a certain family here in Dublin, but they don't anymore. It's been bought out by a Dubai-based firm,
right?
Who have taken a wad of money and thrown at it and made it unbelievably professional from top to bottom. And that all the lads and all the nights of boxing that they're on is completely like the women and the guys that are fighting for them now are all after stepping up a notch, and all the nights that they put on now are totally professional. And they're getting more audience members coming.
Right.
So from the outset, Days Paper were able to bring a big wad of money and say, we're going to pluck these fighters who we potentially think will make good household names, or at the very least they'll make great entertaining fighters.
Yes.
Let's give them everything they need to make them professional, let them quit their jobs and all the rest of it. Let's get them, like, being proper agents. Let's set up proper fights, proper training camps, put on really fucking lavish nights for boxing.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens. And lo and behold, it's bringing crowds in from everywhere, because the promo behind it is like they're all properly doing press conferences now with their names and pictures behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's gone from being, for the want of a better phrase, fucking the boxing equivalent of sitting on the stairs of a...
Yeah, well, I suppose it's probably the way it's packaged up, isn't it?
But I'm just wondering, like, if would we have the population, or would it be, because the standard here is very strong. At the very least, people who can do a good 20, there's a lot of people who can do a strong 20 in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Versus when you go abroad and you go, Jesus Christ, this is not up to our races at all. Not by per head of capita, I have to say. We're out from gigging around a good bit around the world.
Yes.
We are way stronger. I think because we're good conversationalists, you know, the kind of way.
Yeah, well, we've lots of, I suppose, we're used to entertaining the visitors though as well.
Yeah,
we're
probably colourful characters too. Like, you know, there's a bit of madness in all of us.
Yeah,
but I'm just wondering, like, as you were joking about agents coming to shows and things like that, like, if there was, like, say, a ball of money put directly behind, said, look, let's find the next face to plug into society where we think that's needed.
Yeah.
Let's find the next Asian girl to plug in. You know, if they just went, let's find let's make a stable of strong comedians to take with us. Do you think it'll work? You know what I mean? We're able to, like the boxing promotion, ever put serious dollars behind putting on comedy nights.
I think they'd have to be nights.
Yeah,
as you say,
yeah.
You know, because even, you know, I try to think sometimes, right, if I wasn't a comedian and I was at home here, you know, on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
3 kids, you know, because I'm probably the kind of people, not me, but, you know, like our kind of age group.
Yeah.
Because they're the people that are going to possibly go out to maybe a comedy thing or whatever.
A show of some sort. Yeah.
You know, there's more chance of me going to a show than somebody who's in college full time.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
No, totally wouldn't be like. You just think when you were 21.
Yeah.
Do you know, or 20, like,
of course.
you know.
So you can go to a band involved in college it's free, or it's €2 and it's not, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, would I go out to some of the comedy nights out?
Probably not. No,
like,
same as that, like.
You know, so I think if it was nights.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that people don't want to see comedy, but, like, they work hard to get their money, and then their Friday, Saturday night is, you know.
Yeah. How are you gonna get into town? Are you gonna get a taxi? Are you gonna have a few drinks? So, you know, all those variables that come in, like, you want a night, wouldn't you? You would, but it's an odd one, because you see it in different towns around the country, working and then not working, and you're going, what's happening? What's each one doing? Like it really struggled in Clonmel. Myself and Paul Marsh struggled with it in Clonmel. Oh, right, yes. Even though colossal population, but then when you look at it, you're like, a lot of you aren't native. A lot of you are just here working. You know what I mean? Or you work, you know what I mean? And they maybe don't feel, you know, because you know yourself, housing estates, probably the least amount of people talk to each other, like, in housing estates. Ironically, you live closer than maybe rural, you know. So, yes. But then you go to a place like, I think it's because you are so close to each other. That's it. Sometimes just like, because I know a few neighbours, like my mum has had experience of, like, she said hello to her, and, like, she, like, you know, like, her neck's on a swivel, like, she didn't see me. Like, of course she saw me. But, like, yeah, but maybe she's just afraid of, like, having a big fucking conversation. Yeah. You know, like, places to be going. Some people just don't want to get into that thing, because then they're setting the benchmark of, oh, if I fucking see her face now, I've got to have a half 20 minutes. Yeah. It's like, relax, it's fine. But, yeah, maybe it would work. I suppose it would be a big investment, though, wouldn't it? That's what I mean. And when he was telling me this, it was like, Jesus Christ, because I know where he was coming from in Celtic Warriors gym. It's very much it's not. It's a pro fighter's gym,
Yes.
but it's not flash in any way, and there isn't colossal money being thrown behind it. But each fighter works on their own merits and earns good money. Like, but
Yes.
you don't have there ain't like there's going to be no Conor McGregor fucking bus pull up outside and everybody onto it. But
I suppose, you see, that's the thing as well. Like, that's why Farmer Michael and Kathleen obviously went out and did their shows. Obviously, the appetite is there for, but that's how they were going to make money.
Yeah, that's
See, I suppose the online thing is like converting it into cash then.
Yeah, but I was
There's so many ads, or kind of, here we are eating a pizza in this fucking place.
I know.
Hashtag ads.
Yeah.
You can only do so many of them before you're like, right, what am I going to do now?
Because that's what I was thinking. Because the people will go out to that.
Yes.
What makes them go to that, even though they have? Say, how would you feel Vicar Street from that forum, even though they can?
Yes.
Even though and the people coming to them will have never, because they're so fresh, they will have never seen them live before.
Yes.
Is it that believable? Like, is social media, is Snapchat and Facebook that believable for people when they're reading it during their fag break or whatever?
I think it's that thing of, obviously you enjoy it and all that, and it's, you find it entertaining, but it's that thing of feeling like you've been watching them.
Right.
That you've been part of their little journey or whatever.
I suppose,
Say if they had somebody there who liked his page when he had, I don't know, like say 3,000.
Yeah.
So say when he had 3,000, like, he's getting along now. Like, he's getting, kind of past the point of like just family and friends and whatever. Imagine if you start liking his page then and you enjoy the stuff.
I suppose,
and then he's at, I don't know, what is he at now?
Oh, it's got to be over 100,000, surely. It's colossal. Like, I mean, over millions of views anyway.
Imagine if you've been following that whole time through all of that.
Yeah.
And then every so often, you're putting up all your comedy stuff, but then every so often people will know about, like, what you tell them, but they will know about your life. You know, you'll post the personal thing of like, whatever, 4 years ago this happened, whatever the fucking story is. So if people have followed them,
they've been in your life, like
they've been in your life. So if they're gonna rock up to wherever and put on a gig, and you've been following them that whole time, you're gonna go.
I've gotten more to the bottom of that than talking to the two Johnnies or Farmer Michael. To be honest, you've just explained it, Farmer.
No, I personally, I am not one of those people. I don't have many people that I would like have to see them.
Yes, yeah.
I've never been.
But you're very full of yourself, though.
I don't have a big idol. I have a few people that I really admire, but I don't have that thing. I would never queue up to.
I've never had that. I can.
No.
Yeah. I remember.
I have a few people I really admire.
Yeah, I remember we when
it's probably a shyness thing or whatever.
Possibly, I would be the same way. Just kind of look at the ground and go, I'm sure they,
I don't want to be bothering them now.
I can see like 18-year-old young fellas recognising me the odd time, at the start, but only purely because, and they don't recognise me. They kind of go, I know him from somewhere.
Yeah, but and you see, there's some people as well who, the way if people take a photograph with you.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a nice, 90%, and that's a lovely thing. But there are some people, like, I would find it very difficult to ask somebody to get in the picture with me.
Oh my God. Oh, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, unless I drink on board, maybe.
I mean, there's people that you could just be chatting to, they're like, and they do that.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Oh no.
But I'm crap with photographs anyway.
But then that's a different generation.
Yes. But I was always crap. Even Bebo, it was not my thing. I give my camera to my friend and say, we just take a few pictures there.
Yeah. Because
I'm just like, it'd be blurry, it'd be fucking floor, I'd lose it. My dad's the same, just like finger. I'm not good. But I wish I could do that. I just can't take selfies with people. But then sometimes I've seen people who've taken selfies with people, famous or whatever, and then you look into their Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is, and their fucking thing is just getting pictures of people who they know.
About 3 weeks ago, a guy tagged me on Instagram, and he was playing in a band, it's just a fun kind of folk band.
Yeah.
And we'd had a couple of drinks, and they had us kind of sing. Everybody sitting around was having a sing song with him. grand, and he came over and selfie, and this guy was my age. It was like, and I still not irks me, but it's like a little thing pokes me in the head, going, do you not find this weird?
Oh yeah.
Because if a 16-year-old says it, yes, because that phone has been part of their life since the day they were born.
You wouldn't question it.
You wouldn't, but I went along with it, and then I noticed
that's his thing.
When he tagged me, that is his thing.
Yes.
It's like, oh right. So this is your stamp collection, I see.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like people had like autograph books or whatever. Actually, somebody asked me. Remember I said I worked in that coffee shop?
Yeah.
But I was actually out on the floor one day, and this fella goes, "You're one. You make the videos, don't you?"
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And it was really busy. It was like Sunday, like brunch time or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then he's like, get in the selfie here. And I have the food in my hands.
Right,
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, this is really awkward. And I was like, oh, just come up to me when you're leaving. It's like,
that's
grand.
weird. Yeah.
This is fucking, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Stop making it weird, dude.
And I didn't want people in work to know. I was like, I'm going to keep this quiet for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, get one now. And I was like, okay. And then he brings up the phone, takes the selfie, and he goes, I'm like, can we get more ketchup as well, please? Breath.
Wow.
Like,
I have no way of properly responding to that. I've no way. I don't know. What the fuck? Jesus.
Like, it was a legitimate question because I was the waitress. Of course,
yes, but how did his brain think two ways? No. One, I desperately want to photograph with that lady, and two, in the same breath, I want her to bring me more ketchup.
I think it was just a case of I recognised that one from doing videos. I'll get a picture and I'll say, oh, look who I saw today, that one.
Jesus.
And then it was all the same thing because he was eating the food. He was like cutting the food, getting the phone, taking the picture, back to the food, getting the ketchup. Like, it was all the same thing. There was no full stops. There was no whatever.
Okay. Now I get you. Sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, because that was a big moment in my head. You just said there. So this was the same as him taking a picture, or just like fucking nothing. Like, did he make it such a part of his day that? Yeah,
but it was fucking terrible for me standing there then, because then.
Yes, I can only imagine.
Because then the friend, so there was 3 of them, I think, but then the friend was like, who?
Oh, and, I get that. Yeah.
And he's like, you know her. And then the friend starts to ask me, what do you tell us? Tell us some of the bits that you do.
Oh, and you just want to put the fucking plate of food into their face and go, no, do you know what?
You're standing there while someone's Googling you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're preaching to the choir here.
So I was standing there, like, working myself up to, like, come on, just take the picture of it. It's no big fucking deal. Take the picture. And then you're so disposable, like, yeah, thanks, more ketchup, please.
Oh my god. That would be quite a good bit on stage. But that just made me feel really tense in my chest. I can't I can't compute that too well.
Yeah, it was just, and then it was like I was their bitch then for the whole fucking while they were having food. They got loads of food. So it was like every little fucking more maple syrup, more because they got full Irish breakfast, and they got pancakes, but like they had a proper.
They're fat fuckers.
No, they weren't.
They fucking worms, or had they been on drugs or something?
They were big, like they were tall, but they weren't fat fuckers. But they were just like munching into the food. So it was like fucking more maple syrup, more Nutella, fucking more butter for it. So we were mates then.
Oh, you need to, like, in that moment. How did you not just take off the apron, put it down?
I think I basically.
Was there a moment where you went?
No, I think it was kind of. Even when I'm telling you about it, it's like outer body.
I get you.
You know what I mean? Like, was that me?
And also, I can guarantee you, there was a part of your brain that was happening, because this is something we develop in comedy. We would develop 2 brains, where one is running in real time and the other is running beside it, and maybe a little ahead of it, even going, I know this moment is terrible for the 2 of us brain, okay? But this is going to be funny as fuck to tell, because it's so weird and awkward. I kind of love fucked up awkward. Like that. I was telling you about that lady the other day, to hunting us off the footpath.
Oh yeah.
And there must have been 20 other people freaking out when this woman.
But they'll enjoy it then when they can get home to digest it and tell someone about it.
Yeah, but I was laughing in the moment because I was like, "This is gloriously fucking shit right now," And how shit the scenario is that we're all queuing like fucking like it's the end of days for a piece of shitty property. Like twofold. How the fuck were you going to move into this house knowing that Crazy Ann was living next door? You know what I mean? Like and even what made us crack up altogether, we walked out the back garden and the back garden wall was only 4 foot high. You could fall over into our garden. I was like, this would be nightmare written all over it. But
Jesus.
But there, I can see how what I especially when it was on telly, it's Damon Ivor. Like when it was on telly, was fellas would recognise me from 200 yards away. But I swear to God, I could show them my fucking passport to their wife or girlfriend. Nah.
Really?
And they'd watch the same show. And I'd said it to one of the producers, who went, oh yeah. Can you not see that from the outside in? He says, that show was aimed at boys 16 to 30.
Right.
And I said, but you can aim a thing, but at the same time, he said, no. I can promise you, you'll be lucky if any woman, you could fucking slap her and she not know who you are. It's unreal what people, how people...
So they could be watching it with their boyfriend or their brother or whoever it was, but it just wouldn't resonate with them in the same way.
They cannot relate to the character in any way. So, but what they'll relate or at least recognise other characters in it. But the character that I was playing and maybe one or two others that were in it, not a hope in Jesus.
Oh, right.
They go, oh yes, that shadow person who was standing beside the character that I did recognise and even spoke to him. You were him. Right, but the amount of times I've got, who are you then? Who are you? Tell me, and you're like, no, ask him, because this moment has just gotten.
After I've left.
This happened. I was driving out of an underground car park in town one night after a gig, and there was one around the corner on that little. It's not Fleet Street. What's it called? It's an old kind of a car park. I was coming up out of it.
Oh yes.
And I had the window down because it just happened to be a warm night, and I was just looking up the street to see was there fucking traffic coming, and your man went, fuck it. It's you! Fucking go on out that fucking dark and fucking selfie. I get a fucking picture with it. And I'm in the car. Yes. I'm going, alright. And she started losing the plot because it was like he had stolen thoughts off her. Do you know what I mean? She was like, what? Like, this man has never been in our lives and now you're claiming you need a photograph with him. Like, it was the most bizarre. And I just started laughing, like an almost nervous, kind of awkward laugh, just going, this shit is... Like, to go through that, you should be paid in that moment to go through that weirdness. I think it's just like, what? Like, if somebody's sound, they go, hey, any chance of, no bother, that's grand. But that awkward moment where you get put through it going, come on.
I know, you nearly start, it's like little dance monkey thing, like, I did the funny stuff. It's like...
I saw Micheál, one of the few times I ever got awestruck, I saw Micheál and Mara Hertig, the old, the guy. Oh
yes, I know.
I saw him down in Dingle, and I actually got, I don't know why.
Did you?
No, I didn't go near him.
Did you not?
Other people...
If I saw somebody, who had been in my life for a long time via the television or via the video, I would be like, I still wouldn't.
No, and...
shite, actually.
Did you do it?
No, I'm just thinking, when I was at Vodafone, this is actually really bad.
At the festival?
Yeah.
Right.
And it was the night that I wasn't gigging, so I was like, gonna have a few drinks now. Gonna have a few fucking drinks. And Tommy Tiernan, so in the
in the performers area. We'll call it performer. If we call it VIP, it gets very...
green room? I was like, what the fuck?
It's a tent out the back of the tent.
Yeah. It's just a tent, yeah. And so Tommy Tiernan was there with a group of people or whatever, and I could see loads of the comedians were like kind of like shuffling close, like just by chance, just getting into conversation with Tommy Tiernan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all this kind of like just backs to him, like kind of stretching, each sentence
like cats looking for a rub.
Yeah, each sentence getting closer and closer to him, and I didn't give a shite, but I was very hammered at this stage, like, because I was like, I'm gonna fucking go on it tonight. Like, it was like, haven't had a drink in ages and I'm fucking going for it tonight. My gig had gone great, blah blah blah. I thought it was hilarious. This is for my own amusement. I rustle up to him.
Right, in between the people he was okay.
Yeah, in between his like group of people, like, entourage or whatever. And I say to him, how are you? And I said, I'm a big fan of your wife.
Right.
And he's like, are you serious? I think he thought I was taking the fucking piss.
Right.
Because I'm sure he knew that I was possibly a comedian.
Yeah.
but
At the very least, you were standing in a comedy festival.
yes.
Yeah.
Probably had performer tag.
Yeah. You would have. To get in there for free, you would have probably had it somewhere on your
I was
person.
like,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of your wife, and I think he thought I was taking the piss. Now, I actually do really like his wife, but I was like, I think she's great, and you treat her nice, goodbye. I won't say. And then I thought about the next day, hit me about 6 o'clock, and I was like, what comedian goes up to Tommy Tiernan and says, I'm a big fan of your wife? I'm sure he thought I was being a right little fucking wagon. Do you know what? I think your wife's great. Go fuck yourself, Tommy Tiernan. I'm sure that's what it sounded like.
30 years of fucking work. I think your wife's awesome.
He was probably getting ready for life.
Oh my.
That was his can I get more ketchup moment, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that's all that I got. I just got my comeuppance, didn't I?
Yeah. I did have a drink. I was drinking in the presence of Bill Burr.
Oh yeah.
And I did ask him for a selfie, all right. And he was like, and we'd had, like, I was drinking with Joe DeRosa before that, and then he sat down and joined us. And you're trying to keep it together because you're like, because I'd had a drink or two at this stage because I was off that day, and was like, and he says, and the drink we'd had, the period that a drink would be, we'll say 20 minutes. And then he went, hey, Bill, can I get a picture of you? And he's like, what, you want a picture now? It's like, now? And he in fairness, he made me nearly fucking not take the picture because he made it awkwardly funny because he understood we'd passed the point of being we weren't at friendship, but we were past the point of being pure anonymity of a selfie, which he's happy to do.
Away, yes.
But now it's like
awkward.
But he went right into his go. So we're going to take a picture and then we're going to hang out for another hour or two. And what? How does this work now? Because I don't know how this works. A selfie is like, Joe, do you want a photograph as well, Joe? And I'm going, oh my God. But then the knacker in me kicked up and I went, well, Bill, do you know what? Now, you can fuck back to wherever you came from. You weren't worth the fuck up on that stage anyway. Fuck's sake. Glad I didn't fucking pay in to see it, right? Just being... And he, like, in fairness, there was about 1% of genuine kind of fuck off. But the rest of it, I was trying to act my way through it. And he enjoyed it. He was like...
Okay, so
because he said, he goes, just for a split second... I did think you were going to come across the table to me there, like, because he properly told me to fuck off with myself. And we got a photograph in the end, but even the next day it was on my phone. I went, oh Jesus! See, because I wasn't fully sure how
to do it,
or how it had happened either. I was like, was I really drunk when I asked him for that? Because I looked very, very happy in it. Like,
yeah,
you know. But thankfully, he looked okay in it. He looked quite happy as well in it. Yeah,
nervous.
No, like I almost asked Dylan Moran for a photograph while I was drunk as well.
Yes. A
couple of years back. I'd say at the Vodafone Festival. But somebody, thankfully, had run the gauntlet ahead of me. I can't remember who it was, but it was another comedian. And went, Dylan, would there be any chance I could take a photograph with you? And he went, no. Oh, he's not in a rude... in fairness, you've never heard anybody turn something down so politely.
So he knows how to do that now.
But so amicably, like he did it. He's like, look, sit down, let's have a drink. But I'm not doing the photographs thing, man. I don't keep a phone myself. Come on. Let's just play it cool. And it was like, yeah. But like the fact that he was going, just chill, just have a drink. It's fine.
Yeah.
And he was kind of saying, you're not going to benefit from getting a photograph with me. And I'm certainly not going to benefit. So...
Because there's no story behind it. It's
nothing.
I just walked up to so-and-so and I said to him, I was like, oh, can I get a photo with you? And then they just said, yeah. And then we took the photo and then that was it. Amazing. Like, whereas if...
Well, yeah, I suppose with the one with Burr, we were actually drinking. And it was it was...
That's rare, you see now.
That's very rare.
Experience.
Very, very rare. Yeah.
Most of it is snap by, isn't it?
Yeah. I did. Oh, I got one. Do you know what? I did get one with Tommy Tiernan, but it was one of the worst ones you've ever seen in your life. I should actually show it to you on my phone if I can find it at some stage. But I was opening for him down in Cork, and it was just the two of us in this kind of bunker. It was a bunker, essentially, to the side of the comedy club. And we'd been sitting there chatting, and he was telling me old stories, like from back in the day, like when he was a madman for the drink and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd had a good show, he'd had a good show, he was very, very complimentary, and he was having a pint or two, and I says, Tom, I'll probably never get to open for you again. Could I get a photograph for posterity? That's the only way I could put it to him. And he went, yeah, okay. And then I took the photograph, but the lighting was... It quite literally looks like two men on Al Jazeera. Basically, just... Because the two of us had beards as well. Like, we looked like two fucking terrorists who were fucking
was
doing...
it a couple of years ago?
Yeah. It was probably...
So even the phone wouldn't have been as good.
No, it
would.
would...
I know, like, my phone from, say, 2 years ago...
Yeah.
...is not as good
and I'd say
the pictures.
And I wouldn't be one for even a good version of the phone in time. Like, it's just... It works. So it was... And I wasn't going to ask him for a second. Could we take another? You know, that's great, Tommy. Thank you. But then I was going, what's the point in taking that? Because then we hung out for a further 3 hours, and I dropped him back to his hotel. Do you know? Like, it's like asking your mum for a photograph. Then, like,
I know.
Do you know? Not that we were friends again, but it was like.
Do you know? But in fairness, I do wish I was actually good at taking pictures. I haven't said all that. I do wish I could actually just say to people, get in a photo with me.
Any of the good
all the fucking like, haven't I deadly that I don't ask? It's not that I don't, it's that I can't.
Yeah.
Physically can't bring myself to do it. Physically can't take fucking pictures. It's just all going against me. I'll go away and I'll have 3 photographs. I have to force myself now, like when we go like to do things with kids or whatever. I have to force myself to.
I think we did glorious.
I love them when I have them.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but it's just I'm not.
Yeah, no. Especially if I can point it directly at something and stand still, I'm not too bad. But if it's a selfie, it will be shite.
Yeah.
Like even with Bill, I got somebody else to hold my phone and take a photograph of it.
Yeah, that's
because it was going to be dirt. Thankfully, we were at a wedding at the weekend, and there was a lot of comedians. It was Colin Geddes from the north who has celebrities, and they'd said, if we don't mind you taking photographs, would you not put them up on social media? And that to me was, I put the phone into the jacket. That means the phone will not come out for the night, and I will be in no way obliged to take these photographs.
I know, because I was a bridesmaid for my friend.
Oh yeah.
And that was like panic for me, because I was like, known this girl for years.
I love the way you're getting panic attacks like about the idea.
No, but like if I'm not seen to be taking fucking photographs, what kind of bridesmaid am I? But
do you even like her?
Then I'm like, why the fuck are people taking these stupid pictures of people walking down the aisle and it's half someone's shoulder? Who gives a fuck? Yeah. I'm like, just want me to take out my phone so I look the part? This is pointless.
Yeah.
There's going to be good photographs of this. Just enjoy it. Obviously, enjoy it, but part of it is because Emma can't fucking do it. But like, what is that all about? Let's fucking stop. But now, having said that, I should have taken pictures because she was very chilled about her wedding.
Yeah.
Didn't give a shite. Not didn't give a shite, but very relaxed. Just like, the guy that she got to do the music, as she walked up the aisle, she met him on Grafton Street busking.
Okay.
On her lunch break.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, so that's her. She's just like, do you do weddings and shit? Grand. Tick.
To do weddings and shit.
Yeah.
I hope that's exactly how she asked him.
She probably did. And no, she gave him the song and everything, and then he played it, he recorded it, and he sent it to them. Like, what do you think of that?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that's perfect. But they got this fella to take the photographs who her husband knew through bowling.
Okay.
So he goes bowling on a Friday night or whatever. And
what is it, 1950s America in their house?
I know, I don't know what's going on. But they got this fella, and he's actually at our table. And so he had the dinner and everything, but he was the photographer as well. Oh. It was one of these things where it was like, you know, mates rates or whatever. But the whole time that he took pictures, he had smoke in his mouth the whole time. I've never, and I loved cigarettes back in the day, I've never seen anyone like this before in my life. We were like, it's going to look like there's a smoke effect on all the pictures. How is that even like, just like the whole time? Even like he gets up on a ladder, you know, to take a picture.
Yeah.
The fag is still there. The fag is not. It's stitched to his lip. This wedding, nearly 2 years ago now, I've yet to see a picture.
Oh, no.
I asked her about it a couple of times, and then I was like, I'm just going to fucking leave that now because they don't exist. There was, if they did exist, he had a fucking fire in the gaff or something.
The other thing too, though, if she's as chilled as you're describing, we got married a year and a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And we still haven't picked our pictures. Because there was like a gazillion of them. Yes. I'd be fairly relaxed. We'd be both fairly relaxed, but we were on point with most things, but we haven't gotten the finger out with these fucking pictures. Now we did with the it took like exact to the day. It took a year for the video to come out. Right. But we're kind of going, and the video kind of tells the story. And now we're still going, Jesus Christ, we're going to have to sit down for like 2 days. Yes. And actually pick them up. So I can totally understand your mate kind of going, I'll fucking get to it. Oh, yeah, just maybe, in case, you know. So they mightn't be all fag-related photographs.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe there's still hope.
But it's,
you pay, your photographer's paid and all that.
No, he is, yeah.
They get paid, like it's all done and dusted on the day. Then you just have to...
But he keeps on pressurising us to go, would you fucking pick these things? Because I need to actually make some solid ones for you to hang on the fucking wall. Like, and that needs to be sent away to be done and stuff. So we're going, yeah, we'll do that. Oh, don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Like, because...
Yeah, it's a bit of a good couple of days working it, like.
Oh, there is, but you physically would have to sit down. But it's, again, I don't know, it's one of the few things that is absolute... Because you see, we got the wedding done. Yes. And then after that, it's like, well, that's done.
And did you want to get married?
Yeah.
You was it important to you?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Plus, it was kind of a meeting of the two families who weren't from different provinces, even you know, that kind of way. So it was
real
good.
Mixed marriage.
It was interracial.
Different provinces. Jesus Christ.
So it was. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I did. Yeah.
You wanted to.
Yeah, I did want to get married. Yeah, and I didn't know. I had no aspirations to marry anybody prior to meeting Natasha. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, it wasn't, oh my God, say yes to the dress, Tom. Like, it just was would be weird. And Natasha was cool as a breeze about it. Like, but it was kind of very an amicable thing. It was like, that'd be a cool day out, I think. Yeah. Do you know, it was like, that'd be a deadly day out now, you know. And it did, because we did everything our own thing. Like, there was a book that every place will give you your fucking go to, and here's the thing to tick. And we went, oh yeah, listen, there'll be grub and there'll be dancing. So, but we're going to put in lots of silly things in between, which is what we did. Like even my ring, I said to Natasha, I've never worn jewellery of any sort in my life. Do I have to wear a gold ring? Because I reckon it looks stink on my all weird down busted fingers. Yeah. And she went, you can fucking wear whatever you want, Tom. So get a timber ring if you want a timber ring.
Oh, okay.
So as it turns out, the metal is gold, but that's deer antler. And that's timber up the metal. I've skinny the fingers, it'll probably fit perfectly fine onto your hand.
I've small fingers too now. Oh yeah. It's a really nice ring.
And but it wasn't we were trying to be cool. It was just there was no way I was going wearing a gold ring.
That's timber in the middle.
Yeah, and then antler up the side, crushed antler. Well, it's not it's chopped down and polished into circles and fitted into the area. But it's But like that, it was a great fun day because we were going fucking inviting. Like we didn't. It was a handy enough size wedding. It was 100, including us.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
So because the rains had to be pulled in. Like there was a couple of people kind of going here now. There's auntie whatever. It's like auntie whatever. We can meet her another time. This is what's happening on this day. And
yes. So you didn't do that thing of kind of inviting so and so because
no. Okay. A handful of people from home did come, and my parents went, we'll pay for them and everything. We just would really like three couples of neighbours to come. Yes. So it would be, and I was cool to have a representation of, and I was like, yeah, I'd love them to actually, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. But there was these plethoras of people, and even the wedding at the weekend was quite the same vibe. They did it all on Maureen's parents' property. Yeah. So they got the marquee. And it was a smashing job. It was very cut and dry, basic. Everything was in the one area. Yeah. And it was easily accessed from the local village and stuff like that. So it was great. It made for a good. They looked like they enjoyed the shit out of it because all the people that they liked were there. Yeah. And again, it was 100 people. Okay. So when you work it out between the two, between direct relatives and actual real good friends.
It's not really that many people when you think about it that way. Yeah.
Because I've been to a couple where it was over 200. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What's it all about?
Because there'll be people there in that 200. They're probably going, oh, for fuck's sake, I get to come to this thing now. You know, there will be.
There will be. Fuck's sake, I had to invite them.
Yeah. So just pretty much just ask the basic people, like, you know.
I still wouldn't be arsed though. I'm just like...
But that's the thing, you see, horses for courses, like.
I might now for tax reasons though.
Yeah.
Like, we love each other, blah, 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 blah. But it's never...
Well, we stayed in a place about 3 weeks ago, in a hobbit house. They own a
hobbit house?
Yeah, we actually stayed in Natasha's friend. A hobbit. She's got the hairiest feet you've ever seen.
I was wondering when you were going to come out and say it. Like,
I know. Look, I didn't want to be racist.
I think I've seen this somewhere.
I put it up. It's in Leitrim. It's in Leitrim, and they have
I have a friend of mine who's from Leitrim. Maybe
you would enjoy the shit out of this.
Oh,
it is so much crack.
Yeah,
it's glamping as well.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So they have the yurts around it, and they have this one hobbit house which we got or whatever, and it's like they've done it out so well, but it's just rustic enough that you. Yeah. But also, it's absolutely fine if you're not into fucking getting filthy or anything like that.
Sorry, now what about the headspace on this thing?
Oh no, it's you. Like, you know, you want to be 7 foot, not to faction.
But it is allowed enough seeing.
No, it would. But it's not 8 foot like this room we're in right now. Yeah. But it's 7 foot at the highest. You know what I mean? Like, and it is, you know, and it's not throughout. It's really only just one arc.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And it's a bedroom. It's a very, very large bedroom is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the couple that owned it, they have that place 23 years and they're probably together over nearly 30 years, like, and they said, I couldn't be arsed. That wasn't their bag. Yes. I was like, but what, you totally don't care anyway, so it's all the one, you're a perfectly fine couple regardless. I suppose society, but I would never be one to give one rattling fuck about society, like. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And society, I suppose, at certain points in your life too, you're like, well, you've done this now, you've gone to there.
Yes, the next
step, and you're like, what? No. I'll do whatever I want to do. Thank you very much. Like, so long as I'm not causing you any fucking or costing you any money or charging, you know, or hurting anybody, I'll keep doing whatever I'm doing if that's okay. Like. Yeah.
I think. Well, my only thing now is, it pisses me off people getting their kids christened. If.
Oh yeah, like
that does actually know. I don't give a shit about people getting married or anything like that, but I'm like, people are christening their kids and they don't believe it's shite. Yeah. And I think, just do it. I'm like, if everyone stopped doing that, then.
Well, that's it. Like, it's again.
That's the only one that winds me up now, I have to say.
It's a weird one because exactly. It's even talking with a priest, sound bloke, and he was going, I don't know why people are doing it. He goes, and he says that the schools are dropping it now. Yes, they're dropping it next year, or whatever. He says, look, if it's not your bag, essentially. Yes. He goes, then why bother? Do you know what I mean? Like, he says you're wasting everybody's wasting time with these kind of things. Like, and he was a very well educated man. Like, you could believe he was a teacher more so, you know, and probably a school lecturer, a college lecturer.
When you meet him,
you know what I mean.
It's just more the vibe off from
him. Like, he was obviously into what he was doing and all the rest of it, but he struck you as more of a kind of a pragmatic sort of a fella, like, you know, do whatever does you, just be cool. Do you know? He was just, you know, and he, but the whole, he says, if you're not practicing, he says, like, it'd be the same in any religion. Like, if you were a Muslim or if you're, you know, whatever, why would you? Do you know what I mean? Why would you be bothered if you don't do it? Like, you know what I mean? And to even say you're a Muslim means you have to be. You know. Yes, I know. Like, it was a strange. He put it far better than I'm putting it. In that, well, look, would you be bothered? Like, he says, I'm sure it happens in every religion too. Like, because there's, you know, it does, and it's far more stringent. Like, you try that in a Middle Eastern country to step outside the faith. Whew.
Well, well, here obviously as well, it's totally wrapped up in it's cultural. You know, it's more than just a religion or whatever. But that's it. So I go around to christenings once a month, protest. You say, do you believe in God? Why are you christening angels? You know, on a level of giving a fuck, that would just annoy you. Like, say if I have a friend who never went to mass, couldn't give a shit, had a civil ceremony and then baptising their child. I'm like, what the fuck's that? What are you doing that for?
Well, yeah, I don't get.
And then they're like, I don't know, just fucking doing it.
Yeah,
we'd have like a slag about that.
I suppose.
I mean, on that level,
I suppose that the it creates another day out. Is the
Yeah.
only thing I can see, because at least a civil ceremony is a day out.
Yes.
For
Yes.
adults.
Yeah.
And then I suppose for the child, you go, we should have a day out. And probably the only option in the Western world is to do something.
Yes.
I suppose from the Christian way of, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like if they, do you know what? That's a really good marketing idea.
What's
We
that?
could just set up like, what would you call it? Like a baby's day out. Do you know what I mean? Like, what would you call a baby's, like,
Oh, yes.
agnostics or atheist version?
Oh, I think well, it's on the go already, but it's not. It's
bollocks,
not,
is it?
No, it's definitely on the go, but it's not. Is it a welcoming or something or It's not a blessing. That's too close to religion, but there is something that a few of them are hoping. Actually, a friend of mine was like, "You should get into that fucking celebrant shite."
Yes, you should actually. Yes, you should, because
I should get on that.
that'd be, because your man was a celebrant at the weekend, and he was a lovely fella.
Yeah.
But he was very toothy and very English, and he was nice, but he was like, "Oh, isn't it lovely?" I mean, he didn't need to be throwing a few curse words in to make it.
But you were like, is he on the same vibe now as the couple? Is what you're getting at?
I don't think he 100% was.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, if some bollocks turned up with dreadlocks in fucking, in cargo pants either. Like,
500 quid though.
yes, and all you need is a good suit.
Yeah.
That's all this fella had.
Yeah, my friend said that they met the celebrant once, and then it's like, yeah, you throw them a few stories, you throw them a few bits and bobs, and then that's the date.
He was, like, to be fair to him, he was good.
Yeah,
now.
but Tom, we could do better.
We could totally do it better. I'm trying to be nice to the fella here because it's his profession, but he's not listening to this podcast.
No,
but he had a few old stories, but like, there was no, and I'm looking at it from a comedian's point of view.
Yes.
You're like, I'm not buying you. I get everybody else is chucking along to your shit up there, but I'll be honest with you, man. I'd have the fucking top ripped off this tent. If I was in your position right now.
This shit is weak.
This shit is weak, bro. You gotta...
Yeah, I did that. I went to her wedding and I totally critiqued the celebrant, and I was like, oh, please. I was so fucking hack. Straight in and went, oh, yeah. No, she wasn't cracking the jokes.
But you have to assume, I suppose, too, like that they have a set copy and paste.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In between these, and they just fill it out with a couple of like 4-liner stories and stuff like that. Keep the dicks out and stuff like that. And
there's 2 celebrants sitting at home, listen to this guy, fucking cheeky comedians. Think it's that easy. Copy and paste.
Do you know how many fucking stairwells of fucking hotels we have to sit in? Waiting to get on stage to tell.
The comedian said to me, do you write the stuff yourself? I'm like, oh. It's probably just the same, isn't it?
Oh, do you know what? I'd say it's late at night, Emma.
It is
late. It is late at night.
Yeah, it is late.
And I'm going to... You are absolutely stuffed up with your antibiotics and your... We didn't even get into your nasally stuff.
Oh, sure, you fucking... I bored you enough. I said, I'm going to subject him to it now for 2 minutes when he comes in, and then I'll try and move. You know the way if you're sick, you just have to tell people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's standard practice.
And then you can move on. And everyone is fucking bored of it, but you just have to
I had to stop myself from telling you the last time I was sick, to be honest with you, because that's a normal thing, is to go, oh, you're that sick, are you? Well, wait when I tell you how sick I was.
Yeah, I know. It's like when somebody breaks their arm, 99% of the time it's not an interesting story.
No.
But you've got to ask and they've got to tell the story.
Yeah. Unless you wrote off an F1 car or something like that. Yeah, it's not.
And even though 3 seconds in, you're like, oh, it's just like any other standard. Just fucking fell over.
Yeah, but you got to proceed with the story because it started it now.
We've all committed to it, so yeah, that's the way it is. So you had to listen.
Yeah, I did.
You see, I sound sick, so you had to.
Yeah, right enough. Yeah, right enough.
Know?
Yeah. So if
it'd been last week, you could have been like, Emma, were you in the hospital? Were you on a drip? You may fuck off. Because it's still not the voice, you were like, all right, go on.
We'll knock on with this fucking thing, so...
No.
Anyway, follow Emma Doran on everything. I'll put all links of all sorts to you.
Cool,
but,
yeah.
I mean, your videos don't need to get any more viral than they already are. But do you know what? I'll fucking have a look.
I know. I'll do a new one. I'll do a new one about the ketchup thing.
Yes, I want to see that one.
Yeah.
Emma, thanks very much.
Thanks, Emma.